Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. What's up? What's up? What's up? So today I want to talk about real estate. Real estate is so close to my heart because it is where I found personal success after filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and needing to start my life all over. Real estate was the goal. Real estate was the freedom. Real estate was what gave me lifestyle confidence and gave me success. It has given me financial freedom and flexibility and stability and has been a security measure for my future. So, welcome back. My name is Miss Sinclair, aka the Feminine Boss. And let's talk about real estate because I have been in real estate since graduating college. When I had graduated college with my degree, I really wanted to I really wanted to operate a hotel. But being in New York City, all the hotels, it was so hard to get a foot in the door. Like I had internships, I did everything I needed to do, but it was so hard to get a position to start in New York City because there's a lot of unions in New York City. And so positions are filled and they're filled for the long run. And so, it was just difficult. So I wound up getting my real estate license after college and I started to do real estate. I got a job as opposed to selling real estate because I needed to make money. And so I became an assistant property manager in Brooklyn, New York, of a high rise. We managed over 300 units in this property. And I learned so much about the operational aspect, the upkeep, the preventative maintenance, the capital improvements of properties during this tenure. And I actually loved my job. That was one job that I can say I actually loved. So let's get into it because we hear a lot of stories about women and relationships is just such a big thing on social media right now. Dating men for money, having a particular lifestyle. We all want it, we all desire it, right? Because it just seems so freeing. But we can create that lifestyle for ourselves. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, real estate is the way to do it. I had filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy before actually purchasing my first property. And if I can do it, you can do it. But you just need a plan. You need some guidance and you need to be disciplined and diligent. And I'm going to tell you my story about how I was able to purchase a property after filing bankruptcy. And then I'm going to tell you how you can do the same thing. All right. So grab your pens, grab your papers. This is very important, because now that property that I purchased that property about 2 years ago. It brings me in $4,000 a month, which covers the mortgage, covers any other bills, cover all of my monthly expenses, and I still probably have about $1,000 in profit that I just use to pay off my credit cards. So, there you go. You can relieve your financial deficit, your credit overextensions, and start to pay down your credit with real estate. And it's just so easy. It's so passive, and I love it. And I can't wait to get more properties. Right. So what happened with me was in 2018, I had decided to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I decided to file this because I had so many credit card and just loan bills, not only from my marriage, but then also moving on my own. I had to like get a bed and, just take care of myself. And so I found myself upside down financially and I just could not keep up with my bills. Even though I was working two jobs, it just felt like I would never get out of my financial situation. So I did some research on bankruptcy. And a lot of people from the Black community, we're afraid of bankruptcy. We think that it will damage us. It will, like it's the end all be all. And the truth is, a lot of successful business people, including our incoming president, file bankruptcy all the time to allow them to start over. They use it as a business strategy to actually get an opportunity to start over, or relieve themselves of financial debt primarily in their corporations. But I did it personally. And after I figured out that, hey, yes, I want a house, but what is going to be the consequence of me getting my house? I would have to wait 2 years before I can qualify for a house after filing bankruptcy. 2 years is nothing, right? Because you're going to need 2 years anyway to build up your financial foundation. You need to go to your lenders saying, "Hey, I've been working consistently for 2 years. Here are my W-2s. I need a mortgage." That is the easiest way to qualify for a property. People talk about down payment assistance programs, and other things. That's great, but what I found was that those programs take a year to finish, right? Because you have to go to classes, you have to meet certain requirements, and then there's some restrictions on how you can use your property, when you can move out, how much money you have to pay back on the house, and etc. And so I decided to just go the straight route. I decided to take 2 years to be disciplined in my endeavors in order to purchase a property. I needed to find a job. I needed to, clean up my credit and do some things. And so that's what I did. And so after I filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, I tried doing it on my own because I did so much research. I tried doing it on my own, but then I hit a roadblock. And so after that, I had decided to just hire an attorney. I think it cost me like $1,000 or $1,500 to hire an attorney to be able to wipe out all of my debt through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Now, you cannot pull one over on the bankruptcy court. They want to know how they want to look all in your business, right? You need to really make sure that you are in a position where, your bills are just too much. And they're going to ask for bank statements. They're going to ask for creditors. They're going to be contacting the creditors. The creditors are going to be contacting you. It's going to be a whole, it's going to be a dance between you, the creditors, and the bankruptcy court. So, it's not something to take lightly. But if you are in a position where your bills are just outweighing your income, bankruptcy is an option. Give yourself 2 years to recoup from the loss of your bankruptcy. Start slow, discipline yourself, manage your funds from now because this is a fresh start. And in 2 years, you can be a homeowner and you can start to play in the credit game again. All right. If anyone has questions about my bankruptcy, what I had to do specifically to improve my credit, you can go ahead and drop me some comments because I did want to purchase in a course, a recession proof course for about $3,000 to learn about credit. I have all the letters that I used during rebuilding my credit. So I have that information. Drop me a comment if you'd like to know more about that. I'll do a video. So moving forward, so after I filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, now something happened, right? Because in life, things happen. I was actually in a place where I was living on my own for the first time, just out of a long relationship, and I wanted to explore the world a little bit. Like I had this strong desire to travel. And Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever you have a strong desire about, will come forth." And the laws of manifestation work whether you believe they work or not. And so I've always wanted to travel, and so I had an opportunity 3 times to travel that year. I don't remember, I went somewhere, but then I took a cruise to a few countries, and then the third opportunity I had was to actually move abroad to Africa, where I had an opportunity to provide business consulting services, specifically in the hospitality industry, and I was there for 6 months. So, obviously I was not home, working on my job history. I was not here to physically do the work specifically for my property. So, it is what it is. I chose to, explore the world a little bit and get some more life experience under my belt, which I'm so blessed and so thankful that I did. And still going through depression during these times. I remember vividly, trying to get off these pills because the pills, one of the reasons why I left work too, because the pills that I was taking, it just made me kind of feel very sluggish. I didn't feel like myself. I was very unhappy with the way that, I was feeling, and I was not performing well. And so I took the opportunity to leave the country. So I did all that. But when I got back, after I went there, I went to New York for some time, and then I came back to Atlanta. I started a business, and I still wanted to buy a property. But at this time, even though through my health and wellness business, I had made enough cash to bring to the closing table, to pay my down payments, to pay all the fees, such as, your home inspection fees and your appraisal fees and any other tests that you want to get done. I had the money, but the bank said, "Girl, you don't went to Africa, you don't went to New York, you've been having this business. Like, we need to see 2 years of consistent, strong income, W-2 preferred." And so it was at that time, 2020, that I decided to really get serious about purchasing a property, and I found a job. So I found a career that was paying me $50,000 a year. And I started working, and that was my goal. That was my goal. I maintained my savings throughout that time. And that was also a time when any extra money I had, I was going to conferences, financial literacy conferences. I was going, I was paying for groups. This is when, during the pandemic, this was really when a lot of these communities started with courses and things like that. If y'all know, Earn Your Leisure, Recession Proof. I took a branding course with Ronnie Brown, Girl CEO. So I'm buying all these courses, and I was in Atlanta, so we have events. So I was doing things to just build myself intellectually and also expand my network during the 2 years that I was working and saving up and positioning myself to buy a property. So, a caveat to this is that, I still have my real estate license. And so when I came back to Atlanta, I definitely enrolled with a broker and made sure that I stayed abreast to the industry, the process. And, I even had a couple of clients which brought in some more money for me. And so now I was at the point where in 2022, I was ready. I had my 2 years of tax returns from my job. I had my savings, I had my money, my credit was back up, I had credit cards. My income, my debt to income ratio was superb. And I positioned myself, and I was able to get a loan for my house. Cost me $220,000 in 2022. And I brought I think I paid out of pocket a total of about $5,000 for the property, which is why I wrote that book, 5 Ways to Invest $5,000 in Real Estate, because I was able to purchase my property with $5,000. I put down, I think, 1,000 or $1,500 for my deposit, my earnest money, and I brought about $3,500 to the closing table, and that was it. And another beautiful thing was that I got a 100% loan, a 100% loan. So I didn't have to have a down payment because I had been working on my credit. My credit was strong. So I was able to qualify with like a 680 or something credit score to get that 100% down payment. And so I want to say this real quick. You know, First of all, wherever you are in your financial journey, you can do this. I'm going to talk about the benefits in a second, but I think that I want to demystify the real estate process and let you realize that once you have a goal and you are just consistent in that goal, I'm telling you, just keep your eye on the prize, because you will get financial freedom. You will earn time flexibility, and you will start making passive income, but you have to be able to get down and do the work. And really, it wasn't really doing work for me. All I had to do was get a job that was paying my bills, helping me save, helping me splurge. I mean, I think that I was getting paid to purchase a house, right? But also getting corporate experience and all the other benefits, the health insurance and things like that. And so if you're in a 9 to 5 right now looking for financial freedom, real estate is the way. If you are not in a 9 to 5 right now looking for financial freedom, real estate is the way. Let me show you how to position yourself for a corporate career, getting paid at least $50,000, $60,000, and then going on to buy a property that can give you passive income every month. Okay. So I was able to purchase my house. I brought $5,000 to the closing table. Well, $5,000 total, paying for my property. And like I told you, I had some credit. And that budget of a home, it doesn't really give you the opportunity to purchase a brand new property, which is fine, right? I understand investing, and I've always gone into this process with an investor mindset. And so what I did was, with my credit cards, I used one credit card because I think I had over $50,000 in credit at this time. I used one credit card to gut do a gut renovation of the kitchen because I wanted to bring the home to a standard where I can invite people in to live temporarily. And so I gutted the kitchen, did a clean of the entire house, got some furniture, and I moved in. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. I moved in, and then I had 2 people move in that were living temporarily. So as soon as I moved into the property, I had already set up my property for midterm rentals to produce passive income. And my plan was to build out my basement so that I can have additional rooms, bringing in more money into the property. And so time went by, maybe 6 months or so, got my credit to where I wanted it to so that I can build one additional room downstairs in the basement. I decided to live in the basement for some months until I can build out the rest of the basement while I had rented that extra room upstairs. So now I have 3 bedrooms paying monthly rent, which pays for all of my mortgage. So I was in a great financial position. And so when I got in a position to, I built out the other bedroom. And then I also put in a bathroom, which was perfect timing because I got laid off at the same time. And so now you see how protected I am financially with my real estate property, that I don't need to depend on a career in order to pay my bills and have money every month. And it gives me the time and flexibility to work on my passions, like empowering women to prioritize their self, prioritize their mindset, their health, their finances, so that they can be in a position where they are free mentally and spiritually and emotionally. They can have some negotiating power in this world, in relationships, in the workplace. Because when you are making your own money passively and hands free, there's a certain power that you feel. There's a certain calm and peace that comes into your life that, you can't put a price on. And I want this for all women. All women deserve to be in this space because we go through so much trauma through life and we forget who we are. We forget that we are creators. We forget that we are nurturers. We forget that we create the reality that we live in. And so we have to really start to take our power back. And by doing that, financial stability, financial independence is very, very important. Okay. Especially, I see a lot of relationships online, going south. And, it can start with just one property, but at least you have the financial security to be okay if your relationship doesn't work out. Be okay if you lose your job. Like, this is very, very important. And with real estate being so accessible to us, we need to really take advantage of this and position ourselves for personal success. And so, if you are in a position where you might have been trying to start businesses, I was there. Listen, I've had so many side hustles, y'all. It's crazy, right? And I will continue to try to build other businesses until I find my niche, until I find what aligns with me, until I find my own personal success. But if you are a person who is looking to have some type of financial stability in your life, I definitely wholeheartedly 100% recommend real estate, because real estate is going to give you that financial freedom. Okay. So let's talk about how you can position yourself for a home. The first thing you need to do is find a job. Listen, 2 years, you need to commit 2 years in a job or two. Okay. Because if you don't have a college degree, it may be a little more difficult. If you don't have a college degree or specialty skills like IT certificates and things like that, it may be a little difficult for you to get a salary-based job. So you might be somewhere making 35, $40,000 a year. Now, you need to put your mind to being financially free and purchasing a property. So you might have to have 2 jobs in order to reach a $50,000, $60,000 income a year. And you need that because the banks want to see that you have enough money coming in every month. Just do it for 2 years, because once you get the property, you can offset some of your expenses by renting out the extra rooms in your house, okay? So this is the game plan. I'm breaking it down. This is $1 million game for you because this is the beginning of your freedom. This is the beginning of your wealth building journey. So you need to find a job for 2 years, or 2 jobs where you're making, let's say, $60,000. Things are getting expensive. Okay? And from this point on, you need to be diligent about improving your credit. I have another ebook called do-it-yourself credit repair. Everything that I learned from my course, I have in that book, along with a 609 dispute letter to get you started with your disputes with the credit bureaus. So you need to, in the 2 years while you're working, being focused and disciplined on your road to financial freedom, you also need to be focused and disciplined on your spending habits and also your credit monitoring. You need to make sure that, you're not just spending frivolously, that you're being intentional about your money. Okay. It's only 2 years of your life. Okay. So just put your head down and do the work, period. Okay. Everything else can wait. Get this property first. Everything else can wait. So the next thing you want to do is, when you are ready, you should have some money in the bank. You need money for your down payment. I always say have at least 10%, right? Have money for the down payment, have money, earnest money. So the down payment is for the bank. If the bank says, okay, we will give you a loan, most first time home buyers can qualify for 3.5 or 5% down payment. If you have a credit score of at least 680, you can get a 100% credit mortgage from the bank. Okay, so have that 5% at least. Just have it, because you never know. You're going to need the money somewhere, somehow. So have that 5%. And then the other 5% is for closing costs. You need closing costs. Closing costs are usually, I think, like 1, 2, 3% of the purchase price. However, you're going to need to pay for a property inspection while you're browsing houses. You're going to see a property that you like, that you can afford. And let me also explain to you, this property, depending on the area, because if you want to be all in the city, it's going to be more expensive, right? If you're a little out of the city, you can afford it, but the houses may not be moved, new construction. And we need to get this idea of new construction out of our heads as a first time home buyer. I would really suggest having the experience, getting the property, and then later getting another property. Okay. So, determine, based on these inspections, you need to determine if this is a property you're willing or have the resources to improve or make, do capital improvements on and renovations to make it rentable, okay, and livable, okay? So you definitely want to have some money in a bank. That's why I said 10%. Just save that 10%, put it to the side, get your credit together. If you're going to get credit cards and things like that to build your credit, do it that first year. Do it the first year. Okay. Get your credit together. As soon as your credit is at a certain place, get some credit cards. Okay. If you have credit cards and you use them, make sure that at least 6 months to a year before, you are paying down very intentionally to keep your debt to income ratio very low. They say 30 to 35%. I say 10 to 15%. Use the credit card, but make sure when you get closer to the purchase date that you are knocking down those balances. I'm very serious about this. Okay. So you have to have money in the bank and you have to have great credit. That's going to give you that high credit score so that you can qualify for that 100% loan from your lender. That way you can save more money in your pocket. Okay. It's a 2-year plan. This is exactly what I did. And so once you actually are ready to purchase a property and you go out, have a realtor that is knowledgeable about what your plan is. Have an investor friendly realtor who can guide you on certain things about the property. Maybe it could be the property layout. Is the layout functional enough for a roommate style living situation where you want to rent out space? The area, what is the area like? Is the area conducive to having visitors? Because people want access to buses and trains and stores and, attractions sometimes. So have a real estate agent that knows this. Okay. By the way, I am a licensed agent here in the Atlanta area. So have someone who knows this process and can walk you through. When you see a property you like, and you want to move forward on it, you're going to have to put down earnest money, 1 to 2% of earnest money, to show the seller that you are serious. Don't worry, you have some time to back out of it if you don't want the property. That's what your real estate agent is for. So once you put that earnest money down, you get a property inspection. You need to do a property inspection with a good property inspector. This is going to make or break the deal. This property inspector, they have to be going in the crawl space under the house. They have to be going on the roof. They have to be going up in the attic. Okay. They have to be looking at the mechanicals, because in the report, what you are going to do is dissect that report and see what negotiating power you have. And this is really on your realtor. Yes, you can know, but this is why you hire a professional, knowledgeable realtor. So there are going to be some things that you can negotiate with the seller. Like, listen, I want to purchase this property, but that roof have patches on there that are going to lift up next year, and it's going to be a $5,000 repair. Why don't we just settle at $2,000? Give me $2,000, and then that'll bring you more money in your closing costs, right? So that can cover your closing costs with the closing attorney and the taxes and fees and everything that you need, right? There may be a mechanical issue in a property, or there may be some water damage that the inspector points out, that if your realtor and inspector knows, that's more negotiating power for you to get the house at a lower cost, or to get some credits towards that property so that you don't have to spend, so that you can save more money for yourself. Okay. And I'm going to warn you, this process of going house shopping, seeing properties, making offers, this is where you're really going to have to lean on your real estate professional, because it's going to be stressful. Your heart is going to be in it. You're going to want things, but you have to have someone in your corner so that they can guide you through this process. It's a lot of money on the line, and you want to make sure that you're with someone who can explain things very clearly to you so you understand, but then also help you make the right decisions about your property. Okay. So after you've done that and things work out and you're like, okay, I'm going to take this property, like what I did. I'm like, okay, the property is two the property is 220,000. They wouldn't come down on the cost, but they did give me $2,000 in closing costs, right? So that's more money in my pocket. And I saw the potential in the basement, which is why I wanted the property. And I saw that the kitchen was so old. But I had credit. So I was like, okay, I'll just gut the kitchen and redo the kitchen. One thing that I did learn though was the floor. I didn't really know much about flooring. Flooring is expensive. I still got to do the I got to redo the flooring in my living room, but it's not crazy. But if I would have known what I know now, I'd be like, "Oh no, this floor is going to come up," because the type of flooring that they put down, it's not sustainable over time. It expands and contracts and then it lifts. So, that type of flooring was not a good choice, but lessons learned. At the end of the day, I'm still growing equity, and I'm also getting passive income every month. So boom. So I'm like, okay, needs to gut that. I have the credit to do that. And I love that, I looked around and I wound up closing on a property. I bought $3,500 to the closing table. And yeah, I purchased the house, man. Big up, big up. Oh, look at my I'm like, "What's that?" It's lashes, y'all. Oh my god. "Yes, yes, yes. Big up. Let's go." So, I got the house and I immediately scheduled my contractor to come by and start work on that so that I can get the house occupied as soon as possible. So, that is how you will purchase your first property. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Yeah, that's it. I will focus on getting that property move-in ready, which it doesn't have to be brand new, but as a experienced real estate a property manager, I can tell you how your property needs to be, right? So, just make sure your property is moving ready, start furnishing it and start posting that bad boy. Okay? I started on Airbnb, that was the easiest. I had some short term, but I've moved into the midterm rental market now. It just seems more consistent, more lucrative, and more hands off for me. And so that's the way that I'm doing my real estate now. So, yeah, man, listen, real estate is amazing. And I believe that every woman should position herself to have this wealth building, generational asset that you can pass down, put into a trust, borrow against your trust, use that money for more investments. It's just such a kickoff to, your financial terrain, and I highly suggest that you take this information and you move with it. Let me know if y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.